This is me.
This is me.
This is me.
这是我。
This is me.
This is me.
And this is us.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of This Is Us. If this is your first time tuning in with us, my name is Dominic Parker, aka Blind Justice, and This Is Us is actually a show where I interview some people in the blind community and give them an opportunity to tell a little bit of their story. And today, I have Andre Joyner here with me. Andre, go ahead and say hey to the people.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
So, real quick, we're going to go ahead and knock out all the little formalities and stuff like that first. So, real quick, Dre, if you could tell everybody your name, or I've said it about 5 times now, your name, your age, and where you're from.
Once again, my name is Andre Joyner. I'm 36 years old. I'm from Jersey, but I live in North Carolina.
Okay, all right. So, real quick, if you can tell us about your blindness, what caused it, how long you've been dealing with it, all that good stuff.
I am blind as hell. I went blind due to my diabetes, and I've been dealing with this for about a year and a half now, since 2020.
Okay. Diabetic retinopathy, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then for those who are totally blind like myself, if you can describe or do a physical description of what you look like.
Oh, I am 6 foot, brown skin, and I got dreads,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't really know what else. I got like a homeless beard right now, and that's about it.
Okay, well, hey, look, you drew some sort of a picture. That's all that matters. So we'll go ahead and get down to the meat and potatoes of this interview. So first off, thank you for coming on. I definitely appreciate you showing up and showing out for me. I really appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, bro.
So I guess the first thing to talk about is that one of the plenty of things that we have in common is that I also suffer from diabetic retinopathy. So I always find it interesting to be able to talk to those who are actually going through somewhat of the same struggle and to just kind of get their take on what happened to them and then compare to what happened to me and what we could have done differently and all that other jazz. So give me a little bit of your journey dealing with diabetic retinopathy.
I bet. I found out I had diabetes in 2009, and they said it was due to I guess me being like I was kind of overweight then.
Mm-hmm.
And I had lack of lack of being physical and doing things. So I let myself go.
Okay.
And then it runs in my family too, so yeah, that ain't making no better.
Okay.
But since then, I dropped about 100 pounds, and I'm back active.
Okay.
But I also still could have did better with the insulin and keeping up with my sugars and stuff and eat right.
Right.
So, and it was like 1,300 when I found out, so they ain't making no better neither.
Wow. Just wow. Well, I guess my first question to you would be to go ahead and get this out the way. What in the world did you do to lose 100 pounds? Please tell us what your secret was, because that's one of the main things we want to know.
I just exercise. See, I love playing basketball, so that's why I went back to playing basketball and walking and stuff.
Okay. Essentially, just keep it moving. Essentially, is what you're saying.
Hey, basically.
Okay. So no like magic pill or no, no fruit juice, vegetable smoothie, no magic hoodoo, just regular old exercise.
You know what? Some water, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I don't know no magic things. I just kept it active.
Okay. Well, it's funny to hear you talk about your diabetes and like I'm gonna say your management of diabetes, because when I tell you, those who have probably heard my story over and over and over again, I think the difference between you and I is the fact that I was a juvenile diabetic. So I found out in like 1994. I was like 9 years old, and everything was good for the majority of my childhood. But when I became a teenager, I was like, forget it. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I was just like, I literally can remember going days without taking any type of insulin. Like, that's just how like reckless I was with it. And you said 1300.
Yeah.
For those of you guys who know, like the glucosometer, I hope I'm saying that right. The machine that you use to check your blood sugar. It literally was so high, it really couldn't even read it. And I'm sure with yours being 1300, yours was probably the same. But when I tell y'all, my blood sugar was so high that literally all the machine would say it was high. Because that's literally how high my blood sugar was. And I think I've seen the machine read at least a 700. To put this into perspective a little bit more for you guys, your blood sugar for a normal diabetic, I guess it kind of depends on person to person, but should be anywhere between 80 and 150. After 150, it's considered high. So I just want that to set in and sink in with you guys a little bit there who are watching this. So again, sir, I get the struggle. I completely get the struggle. What this is just the um the nitpicker in me. What was
Hmm.
like your crutch? What was the one thing you couldn't let go while you were diabetic?
I think it's everybody's crutch. Cakes and sweets, bro.
but you,
That's everybody's crutch.
but you know the funny thing is, and I'm sure you've heard me say this multiple times, I've never been a dessert person. Even my mom said when I was a kid, I just never. And people think I'm wild for saying this, but like desserts, pies, cakes, cookies, she never had an issue with that with me ever. I just was never a sweets person. My crutch was sodas. Sodas all day, all night, all kinds. It didn't matter. I mean, I literally drank sodas breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and sometimes in the middle of the night. Like, that's how crazy I was with sodas.
He, you know what happened? They told me mine was. I used to drink a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I drink liquor a lot, and they say liquor is like liquid sugar.
Yes.
So I think that was my crutch. You know, I drink a whole lot. I used to drink a whole lot.
Okay. Um. So I'm assuming now, kind of like myself, after going through the struggles with the diabetes tended to take a strain on your body. And that's why, which I guess takes me to my next question, that's why you're dealing with being on dialysis as of now. And so,
Yes.
what was it like getting the news about going into kidney failure and then now having to be on dialysis?
Uh, it was a struggle, man. First, like it was a reality check, but you know now I take it as I love God, so I feel like he he don't make no mistakes. So I'm going through this for a reason.
Amen.
So I look at all the positives, man. Like he just taking me to this to learn my lesson and give me my transplant and just do better with my life, man.
Amen. Um, I know personally, I ended up, not only did I go through kidney failure, I went into congestive heart failure. Obviously the issues with my eyes, when I tell you, and it all just fell down on me at once. And I can say this to you because I know you get it. Boy, when they take you into that hospital to get you ready for dialysis and they got to put that catheter in you, oh my God.
Man,
It,
they
it's no
misused
joke.
me, bro.
Man, it's no joke. And let me, before we continue on, for those of you guys who are watching, the reason why I'm saying this or going through this with you guys is because for those of you guys dealing with blindness or even outside of the blindness community, you guys should know, or maybe will come to know, that diabetic retinopathy is a really big reason why a lot of people tend to lose their sight. So for those of you guys who are dealing with diabetes now, when the doctors tell you that going blind is an actual option or that this is a possibility, trust them when they say. They're not playing. So again, I think us discussing this is a big chance to show those that this is what the process is like. As I'm sure you know, dialysis itself is a really taxing procedure to have to go through, where you're on a machine for sometimes 3 times a week for hours out of the day. So yeah, so you said, like, what has been your experience so far with dialysis?
You know, it. Hey, right at this point, it is what it is. It's part of my life. It's my new normal right now. So I'm dealing with it. You know,
Right,
it could be worse. You know what I'm saying?
right,
It
right,
could be
right.
worse. I couldn't be here, but I'm here. So I'm taking it as it is, man. God don't make mistakes.
Amen, amen. Um, so one of the beauties with modern medicine is that they actually ended up coming up with a way to transplant different organs. You have liver transplants, heart transplants, things of that nature. They're also able to transplant kidneys and pancreases. And the reason why this is so important to those who are watching and listening is because essentially, if the organs are a match for you, kidneys can obviously, keep you from actually having to go into kidney disease and having to do the dialysis process. But even more so with the pancreas being the main organ that produces the insulin for the body, if you get a matching pancreas, you might not be diabetic anymore. This is a transplant that I have now had for, this will be, on November the 1st will be my 6th year. And I know that this is something that you are actually in the process of trying to get. So how is that process going?
It's going all right now. You know, it's just a weight gain, basically. So you just gotta try to keep everything in the you know how they give you report cards. Just keep your report card good, like school, man.
Right, right, right. And how long have you been on the waiting list?
Yeah, I still, I still got some appointments that I got in the future,
Mm-hmm.
and they say I was on the waiting list already.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, again, fingers crossed that it's sooner than later, so that you can have the ability and the luxury of not having to do dialysis anymore, and that hopefully you won't have to deal with the struggles that come along with being diabetic either. So, but getting out of all that doom and gloom and onto something a little bit more lighthearted.
Oh
you
yeah.
are you are a father, a family man. So you are actually going to be one of the first fathers, or first fathers that I've talked about on this series about what it's like to be a blind father. So, with you being a blind father, tell us a little bit about your family.
Yeah, that's what's up. I'm the first blind father. That's what's up. Uh, it's cool, man. It's cool. Like, I still got a little bit of vision that I still can go out there and throw football with my son.
Okay.
You know, I still help out my daughters, man. You know, but I also got a wife that helped me too. So it
Mm,
it's challenging sometimes, but we make it through, man.
okay. Okay. And I just want to make sure I'm aware. You lost your sight before your children were born, right? So you've been blind their whole entire lives.
No, no, I just lost my vision last year.
Oh, okay. Got you. My bad. I apologize. Um.
That's all right.
So, how does your wife and kids take you being blind? Like, does had the interaction change? Like, how does that affect your family life?
Like I said in one of my TikTok, it's funny because sometimes they forget. Like I be I be back there chilling and walking. So I'm a big kid, so I act like a big kid, but sometimes they just forget.
Hmm. Okay. Look, it looks like one of the kids y'all are trying to say
Of course, my son.
hey.
You know, but
so, okay. Well, with you being a family man and stuff like that, and you're saying that the family kind of adjusting with you. What is some advice that you could give to some blind parents right now, or maybe those who are aspiring to maybe one day be parents?
um, I could say, say try your best, man. Try your best. Don't let this like bring you down, yeah. Because at first it was about to bring me down, but I just said, me, I pray, I meditate, and I just say, life still is what it is. It's just a little bit more challenging now, and I'm up for the
Right,
challenge. So
right.
just be up for the challenge. You know what I'm saying? Don't let it beat you down.
Yeah. Yeah, I know from hearing a little bit of your past and stuff like that, especially up till now, you seem to kind of really make a big turnaround, and that's something to be commended about because things could have easily turned the other way. So definitely, you get a round of applause from me from being able to do
Thank you,
that.
thank you,
Yeah,
thank you.
because again,
I try my
and
best.
but I mean, for real. I mean, a lot of people, and I'm sure you probably know of a lot of people who don't have the opportunity to do that, and it's not as easy, or maybe they were not as strong
Don't
enough to
play
be
it.
able to do that. So, but I'm gonna cut this short because I see that it's about family time again. But I always try to close out these interviews and allow the interviewee the chance to ask me a question before I cut it short. So, if you could ask me anything, what would you like to ask me?
Let's let's see. Let me dig into my head real quick. See what I'm about to ask you.
Oh God.
Uh, nah. All I'm saying is, all I really want to know is after the transplant, how does life get better or it's still challenging?
Um. So I will say this. Luckily, as I'm sure you are aware, and those who are listening might be aware or will soon find out, because they are not your original organ, there's not always the chance that they're going to be a perfect match. So I have always heard stories of people who have gotten kidneys or gotten pancreases, but still have to take insulin or still have to do dialysis. Now, obviously, it's they have more than what they did originally, so they may not have to do as much, and I guess on the upside, a little bit is better than nothing. But the chances of them always being the perfect match, it's not always going to be cohesive. For me personally, the pancreas was a perfect match. uh from the get-go. They told me that my levels, as far as when it came to my insulin and stuff like that, was like almost like I had never been diabetic to begin with. And then the same thing for the kidney. Now, obviously, these are not my original organs, so they're not going to last forever. But I definitely believe, outside of all the tests and the appointments and the exams, the quality of life for me has changed. I've been able to do a lot, not having to worry about being connected to a machine, or vacation without being able to, or having to say, okay, well, shoot, is there going to be a dialysis clinic nearby, or do I have to be near a pharmacy so I can get insulin just in case I need it? I don't know if you use an insulin pump, or do you actually use the pins or the needles?
I use a pen.
So when I tell you, I've never been a fan of needles, ever. And so not to have to stick myself, or I used to use the insulin pump. So to have to plunge that thing into, oh man, not to have to do that's a blessing in itself. So again, does it come with its challenges? Absolutely. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be on medicine for the life of the transplant, pills. But personally, I recommend anybody that's going through the struggle to take advantage of it and, you know, see what it can do for them. So yeah.
Oh,
But
that's what's up, man. Hey, I'm just enjoying life, man. Enjoying life, however it goes. I'm enjoying life.
and that's all we can do. That's literally all we can do. So, but all right, because I know the kids is waiting. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to cut this on off. So as usual, Dre, thank you for coming by and speaking with me real quick, so we can get to know a little bit more about you.
No problem.
If you want any, well, I don't know if you want to give your information, your TikTok information or your Facebook information, if you want people to come follow you or whatnot. Do you?
Hey, you can follow me, yo. I don't make that much videos, but you can follow me, yo.
So what is your handle, sir? How would they find you?
Man, basically it's just my name, man. I think my TikTok is Andre Joyner 0. It's simple, man.
Okay. Well, hey, I guess it don't get much more simpler than that. So,
I'm
but
trying to tell you.
but all right, you guys. So as usual, this is me signing out for another episode of This Is Us. You guys take care, and we'll be hollering at you soon.
Deuces.
One.